Collin was born in 1996, a joyful child with a kind heart and a spark all his own. Around the age of 3, his mother, who worked in education, began to notice that Collin wasn't hitting some of the same developmental milestones as his peers. She signed Collin up for the school district's early screening process, hoping it would give her peace of mind. When the school invited her back for a meeting, she walked in hopeful, expecting to hear about her son's progress. Instead, she was told he qualified in several areas. At first, she thought this meant he was doing well, but it soon became clear he wasn't passing the test. He was being referred to special services. Suddenly, the room filled with acronyms she didn't understand. DD, IEP, OT, PT, and the conversation shifted from who Collin was to what Collin wasn't. No one paused to ask how she was feeling. No one explained what all of it meant. She walked out of the room confused, scared, and alone. She went to a fellow teacher who told her no one should leave a meeting about their child without understanding. That's when the fog began to lift. That moment lit a fire in her. She would never again sit silently in a room where decisions were being made about her child. She would ask questions. She would demand clarity. And she would stand not just for Collin, but for every parent who felt lost in a system of unfamiliar terms and impersonal decisions.
Yeah, hi, my name is Collin Strode. I am 28 years old. I like to go to the YMCA for water aerobics, and sometimes I usually go in the pool, and I usually go in the gym for pickleball, and I usually do play basketball, and I usually on Saturdays I usually spend time with my mom and dad and with my family.
Then came another blow. Around the age of 5 or 6, professionals said Collin was borderline autistic and used the outdated and deeply hurtful R word. It was like a punch to the gut. But instead of letting it define her son or break her spirit, his mom became more determined than ever. She saw beyond the labels to the child who loved music, laughter, and connection, the child who made others better simply by being himself. His mom went on to be a local parent-to-parent coordinator in Grace Harbor, who parents today are still thankful she was there for them. She took a leadership workshop that helped her develop her advocacy skills, and this journey she found herself in. Along the way, she became a voice for others, helping families find their footing in a complicated system. Today, Collin's story is not one of limits. It's one of growth, resilience, and potential. His mom's advocacy continues to carve out a path for Collin where he can be supported, respected, and celebrated for who he is. Collin has a job and shares a home with 2 roommates and receives support from a local residential provider. He works and stays active in the community. Collin is a regular at the YMCA, where he takes part in pickleball and water aerobics. You don't forget meeting Collin. He greets you with a handshake, introduces himself with pride, and carries a smile that seems to say, "I'm glad you're here." He brightens every room he enters and leaves you feeling better than when you arrived. He radiates kindness.
I'm living my great life by living with my roommates and playing video games and watching movies and TV, and I usually watch YouTube on the TV, and I usually watch the full movie of A Christmas Story, and I usually do all sorts of things, and I usually play the Shrek game and the Xbox 360.
That's cool. So you go out in the community quite a bit. Where do you go in the community where everybody sees you? Where are you at?
In the community, I usually go to Hala events to do activities. I usually play pickleball on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. I do all those things sometimes, and
where at?
At the YMCA in the gym.
Great.
And I usually go in the pool sometimes, and I usually shoot some baskets.
He's also an athlete and performer. Collin participates in the Special Olympics and has proudly sung the national anthem at multiple events, including the celebrity basketball game and college women's basketball games.
At the twilight's last gleaming, whose fun stripes and
His voice, strong, proud, and full of heart, reflects everything he's overcome and all he stands for. Weekends are for family, spending time with his mom and dad, siblings, and nephews, where he proudly embraces the role of best uncle ever. He goes to parties and social events hosted by the residential provider, connecting with others in similar supported living settings. He spends the weekends with his family, his mom, dad, siblings, and his nephews, laughing, connecting, and just being together. He's a loyal brother and a son whose presence brings joy and pride to everyone who knows him. Music is a passion for Collin. His playlist includes everything from Tom Petty and the Beatles to Andy Williams' Christmas classics. He's a fan of Ghostbusters and the Addams Family. He doesn't just watch, he feels the music and stories. He attended a 3-day concert tribute band shows for Fleetwood Mac and the Beatles, and is soon heading to the Wiggles concert. Collin doesn't miss a beat, especially if it means fun with others. He also finds joy in life's little adventures. Summer camps, reconnecting with counselors and friends, bike rides, video games, walkie-talkies, peering through binoculars to take in the world around him, and texting family and friends. And he's always ready, day or night, if it means being around people and having a good time. But perhaps the most beautiful part of Collin's journey is that he's thriving in the community he grew up in. A place where people know him, look out for him, and celebrate him. A place where, if anything happens, big or small, good or bad, people in the community check in with Mom. They know Collin. They care. And that gives his mom something every parent longs for: peace of mind. Collin's story is not just about supported services or programs. It's about possibility, connection, and the deep love of family who never gave up. It's about a mom who cleared a path through confusion and stigma to make sure her son could shine. And now, Collin shines bright, living a life filled with joy, music, friendship, purpose, and love. A life that is fully his. A life that truly reflects what it means to be living his best life.